Hey, want to know a fun fact? The car is the #1 form of transportation in the entire world. Whether you drive yourself, carpool, Uber, or even use Waymo these days, 9 times out of 10, if someone needs to get somewhere decently far, they're going to take a car. And that's all the car is to most people. It's just a form of transportation. The most thought they'd ever give into the appearance of their car is the model and maybe the color. But even then, most people just want something reliable that doesn't completely break the bank. Now, if you happen to be blessed financially or work your ass off to get your dream car, you'll still probably end up with a nice luxury or sports car in a color you like, and you'll leave it at that. Although there's an entire community of people who looked at cars not just as machines, but as a canvas. And with this mindset came the creation of the art car. So in today's video, I want to take a look at various art cars and other categories of car where the main focus of the creator is to make something that looks good. And please remember, before we get into things, that at the end of the day, all art is subjective, and I will be taking a look at various artistic cars through my eyes. If you don't think that any of these look good, then that is perfectly fine. I just like shining a light on any form of visual art. So without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. Now, the true origins of the art car as we know it today didn't really come to life until around the 60s, and even though I'm mainly going to cover cars from that point and beyond, especially when discussing the beautiful lowriders that are a staple in Chicano culture, I want to highlight what is arguably the foundation of the art car. Back in 1925, a French avant-garde artist and fashion designer named Sonia Delany took her Citroën B12 and decided to paint it with a colorful patchwork design to match her clothes, which she presented at the 1925 Paris Motor Works exhibition. I did some digging, and what you're seeing here is a colorized version of that original photo taken. So just know that the colors shown might not exactly be accurate. But even though I'm not the biggest fan of this car or its design, I think it was important to mention. Anyway, let's go further in time and talk about just some cars themselves. In the 1960s and 70s, with the rise of the Chicano art movement, artists eventually moved from tattoos, murals, and silkscreen posters to their cars, mainly being lowriders, introducing a clean airbrush style with pinstriping, roses, religious symbolism, and even pinup models. So in the first part of this video, I want to take a look at some iconic lowriders. First up is Joe Ray's 1977 Lincoln Continental named Vegas. The concept behind this car is a rolling casino, and I love how Joe decided to portray that in this ride. From the custom playing card seat to the doors and interior opening up to be functional casino games, and even a working roulette wheel is absolutely wild and perfectly gives off that high roller vibe along with the flashy paint job that says, "Hey, look at me." Next is the 1964 Chevy Impala named Gypsy Rose, created by Jesse Valadez Sr. This is arguably the most iconic lowrider in history. While named after a famous burlesque entertainer, the floral motif featured was used to honor his mother. This car features over 150 hand-painted roses that blend perfectly with the metal flake hues of red, purple, and pink to make one of the most beautiful individual works of art in history. I don't care who you are, if you look at this car and don't see art, then you are just crazy. There's so much vibrant life flowing through the paint job on this one. Next is the 1963 Chevy Impala Supersport named El Rey, created by 3 generations of the D'Alba family. This car has a stunning candy red pinstripe exterior, but the real beauty behind this beast resides under the trunk and hood. This car features an entirely custom engraved chrome hydraulic system that looks more like a sculpture than actual car parts. The trunk itself features a beautiful mural honoring family members, lowrider culture, and Mexican singer Vicente Fernandez. It's both hand-painted and airbrushed, along with the hood that features some beautiful religious iconography. Even though it may be hard to see in this photo, it's the best I could find. But it doesn't stop there. The bottom of this car is also painted with a logo meant to be seen when the car is lifted on its hydraulics. There's so many intricate details put into this car while keeping the exterior clean and easy on the eyes. I love how you can just tell by first glance that so much love and passion was poured into this car. And lastly, for lowriders, we have the 1979 Chevy Monte Carlo named Rumors, created by Orlando Ceballos. This car right here I'd personally consider to be the final boss of lowriders. When most people think of a lowrider, they most likely imagine a Monte Carlo, and this is one of the most beautiful Monte Carlos I've ever seen. The pinstriping on this one is so clean, and the different shades of blue and green work so well together. This one is a feast for the eyes that would turn so many heads when rolling down the street. Not to mention the subtle engraving on the grille. The attention to detail with this one, while still managing to keep a smooth and simplistic design, is phenomenal. But at the same time, when lowriders were becoming a prominent part of culture in the 60s and 70s, the hippie movement was also happening. So before we move on to the other main portion of this video, I want to briefly talk about a few of the cars associated with that era. First up is a 1963 VW Type 2 microbus named Light, created by someone I will only refer to as Dr. Bob, as I'm not going to try to say his last name. This bus was hand-painted by commission for Robert Grimm of the Four Seasons and became an iconic symbol of Woodstock in 1969. The microbus itself is a symbol of hippies, and I think this exact one is the reason why. The entire thing being turned into a trippy psychedelic Americana mural with so many different patterns and shapes. From the stars to the flames, each section of this bus is like its own art piece that screams good vibes, peace, and love. Next is the 1964 Porsche 356 owned by Janis Joplin. While the car itself doesn't have a name, the mural painted on this car is called The History of the Universe and was hand-painted by one of her roadies. This mural is utterly gorgeous. It's like an acid trip visualized and put on a car. There's so much color and vibrancy in this work, and I love how each section of the car is something different. And last but not least, for the hippie cars, I want to talk about the 1965 Rolls-Royce Phantom V limousine owned by John Lennon. Inspired by Romani gypsy wagons and fairground art, this limo looks like something you would see parked outside a circus. I love how detailed the floral designs are, and the hood is so ornate it seems like a design you'd see on some fine china, not a car. I love how bold it is. Also, John had his zodiac sign, which is the Libra, painted on the roof, and I find that detail really neat. It was also painted like this for the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper era, and this design fits that era very well. I'm just glad he didn't make a Yellow Submarine themed car, cause I hate that song. Now for the last main section of this video, I want to talk about a few specific art cars made by BMW, because they're the one manufacturer to actually showcase various models of their cars turned into pieces of art, or as they like to call them, rolling sculptures. First is the 1976 BMW 3.0 CSL, designed by Frank Stella. Inspired by oversized graph paper, Frank Stella decided to paint this car with a uniquely sleek black and white design. I love the symmetry going on in this one and the spirals that are found throughout. It's like someone roughly sketched a blueprint for something and then slapped it on this car. Also, the graph design is literally something I've never seen before on a car. Next is a 1989 BMW M3 Group A race version designed by Ken Dunn. Ken said he was inspired to do an abstract portrayal of parrots and parrotfish moving at high speeds when designing this artwork, and I think he absolutely nailed that visual. Even as a static image, there's so much motion going on here. It's fast, colorful, and flashy, with this almost 90s style pop art feel that seems like it could be part of a mural in a roller rink. Also, I love how the dots and stripes vaguely represent scales and feathers. And last but not least is a 1986 BMW 635 CSI designed by Robert Rauschenberg. Robert himself described this piece as a drivable museum, and I couldn't agree more with that description, as on the right side there's a painting from the French painter Ingres, and on the left there's a painting from Italian painter Bronzino. Meanwhile, the hubcaps are adorned with paintings of the Everglades, and the rest of the car has this beautiful tree and nature motif going on throughout it, turning this simple machine into a mashup of various art. The minimalistic black and white designs that Robert chose for this piece also makes it all blend together well, as I think if the car was colored it would look messy. In conclusion, cars can be way more than just machines. They can become murals that can be timeless and a significant part of not only pop culture, but history itself. There are entire categories of art cars that I didn't even mention here, like all the different art cars people make for art festivals, the Mad Max-inspired vehicles people make for Burning Man, or the flashy wraps popular in the Japanese car community. We literally could be here for an hour talking about these, but I'm going to leave it here. So if you liked this video, please let me know by liking, commenting, and subscribing, as I greatly appreciate the support. And with that, thank you for watching.